AITA. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend that his attempts at avoiding sin are hypocritical, and he's actually sinning in a much worse way? My boyfriend is very religious. I too am religious, but I believe that faith is a personal choice, that I shouldn't impose on other people. My boyfriend and I have different ideas on what constitutes sin. I try to live my life according to what is written in the Bible, while he follows more obscure rules imposed by people in the church. For example, he believes not only is it a sin to work on Sunday, but it is a sin to cause other people to work on Sunday. Because of this belief, he refuses to go shopping or go out to eat on a Sunday. Although I don't hold that personal conviction, since it's important to him, I oblige when I'm with him. Recently, this conviction has become a bit more intense. He's been telling me not to online shop on a Sunday, even if I don't order anything, and that it's sinful to rent movies on a Sunday. I thought he was joking. We were going to watch the new Mulan movie, but when I went to rent it he freaked out. He insisted we had to pirate it, since renting it would cause someone to work on a Sunday. Here's where I could be the a-hole. Instead of taking his concern seriously, I laughed at him. I think weeks of being judged and nitpicked finally got to me. And then I pointed out that piracy is just stealing, which is in the 10 Commandments, and arguably a much worse sin than his made-up rules. I also pointed out that he had taken a shower today, used electricity, used the internet, which are all services that likely require people to work on a Sunday. I went on to say that according to my beliefs I'm not going to sin by stealing, so he was welcome to watch it with me or he could go somewhere else. He went somewhere else and is currently not speaking to me. I feel a little bad, but also justified since his fake righteousness is driving me nuts. AITA. Not the a-hole. The astronauts on the ISS can see the red flags your BF is throwing around. I mean, besides the controlling nature of his comments or whatever, if someone legit thinks renting a movie online on a Sunday is a sin, maybe their mental health is something that needs looking at. I grew up Catholic and asked a priest about this once. He said that the actual commandment is to keep holy the Sabbath. It isn't a Catholic tenet to not work on Sunday. It is only our job to keep holy the Sabbath, which the Catholic Church holds to mean that you use that day to be with family and praise God. If you have to work on a Sunday, that is to the benefit of your family and therefore allowed. Also, if you are working to spread the gospel, you are doing God's work, which supersedes any other ruling on that. The only flaw I could find in that argument is folks going to church on Saturday evening instead of Sunday, but in a lot of ways Catholics are much more about the New Testament, and quite loosey-goosey with the Old Testament. AITA. Not the a-hole. Sick burn LOL. He didn't have any argument to justify his behavior, except the silent treatment and pouting? AITA. And you guys have fundamental differences in belief. That's a ground rule. You both might want to reconsider if you're right for each other. I second this. The amount of breakdowns in relationships I've seen over the years, because of issues like this, is unreal. Plus, what if he gets even more excessive with religion? And on top of this, he is now sulking instead of listening, learning and communicating. This is juvenile behavior. AITA. Drop him. Dodge that bullet. According to his own religious fantasies, pirating would still cause someone to work on Sunday for him to watch it on Sunday. AITA. Which Bible says that stealing movies is preferable to ordering a pizza on Sunday? AITA. Your BF sounds like a super fun guy to be around. AITA. Not the a-hole. Also, he is your boyfriend, not husband, and it seems like you live together, and isn't that a sin? Unless he also avoids wearing clothes or 2 different fabrics, doesn't eat shellfish, etc., then he is probably sinking daily. Also, you did point out a pretty obvious hypocrisy in his beliefs. We don't live together, but we spend a lot of time together. AITA. He's on a slippery slope and you just pump the brakes. Well done for giving a well-considered, fair response to his muddled thinking. Keep in mind, most of us that work on Sunday, will get other days off. I'm not religious, but I rest and relax on my days off, whatever they happen to be. AITA. Someone may have brought this up, but does he ask you to work on Sunday? I mean cooking any meals, any housework, etc. Having you pirate a movie is kind of having you work. Just one of those things where there is no clear line. Also, stealing seems worse. I hadn't thought of that. We don't live together, but I enjoy cooking, so if we're spending time together I'll do all the cooking. I guess maybe he doesn't consider it work, since I enjoy it and would be cooking anyway. AITA. He has a very limited understanding of what it means to live as a Christian, to say the least. He can't use stealing as a justification for anything, let alone for keeping the Sabbath. He's also wrong for pouting and giving you the cold shoulder. We grow by being corrected, in love, by one another. Really, he ought to be thanking you for pointing out his fault. I hope you've read the part of the Bible that talks about not being unequally yoked to someone in marriage, because you and this guy are not on the same page. Unless he opens his eyes and becomes less legalistic, your marriage would be the constant tug of war that you're having now, but for a lifetime. My boyfriend is very religious. No, he's not. He's very controlling. It's not the same thing. By the way, pirating is 100% worse and is stealing. The people who made that movie are not benefiting from it at all, so all their hard work is getting taken for granted. Also, just because you use/buy something on Sunday, especially online movie purchases, doesn't mean there is a human on a switchboard somewhere working on your transaction. I think it's automated. I live in an isolated rural area dominated by such folks. It's so bad that, if it's a Sunday or other religious holiday, our volunteer fire department will let your house burn down, then declare that's it's God's will. NAH. No a-holes here. But you two are in a real pickle. I'm a very liberal Christian who takes the Sabbath seriously. I believe everyone deserves rest and time with their family, and I try not to shop or obligate people to work unnecessarily on Sunday. I also try not to be a jerk about it. Very weirdly for this sub, I'm going to recommend that you both read The Sabbath by Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. It's a beautiful short book about the gift of the Sabbath and the gift of rest. Here's the Amazon link, but get it from an indie bookstore, hopefully not on the Sabbath. AITA. But he sounds unwell. And I say that as someone who was raised by very conservative Christians, who homeschooled me until I was in high school. You should look up scrupulosity, which is a form of OCD. It's possible this is how his anxieties are manifesting. It's also possible this is just how he wants to live, and you two are incompatible. AITA. He needs to tone it down. Don't let him guilt trip you into signing into his hypocritical nonsense. People will make mistakes and cause inconvenience in life. It is unavoidable, and part of life. That is why people work in the first place, but being a jerk and a hypocrite within your relationship towards your SO is a different type of transgression, and is disrespectful in my opinion. AITA. So the alternative to causing someone to work by renting a movie on a streaming service, which is not at all how that works, is alleviated by stealing. This is tie a string around your city so you can still travel level of deity deception. Really all he's done there is show how flimsy his belief system is, if it can be thwarted by a uTorrent link. Fellow Christian here, the whole not going out to eat on Sunday cause it makes others work is fine. I have friends who also subscribe to that, though sometimes they bend it because it causes them to be isolated from after-church gatherings. Your boyfriend went way into loony territory. I think it would be good if you and your pastor talk to him about this. He is being a little ridiculous.